My favorite speaker was Jason Wilkins. I really liked how he started out his message or his topic. He was just like, it's so easy to be a Pharisee. And for me and for all of us who've grown up in the church and with our families being Christians and our friends having an influence on us too, we all have a tendency to know how to act and everything, but it's so easy to become a Pharisee. But it's important to, like really believe it, not just say it. And that's something that I think is always good to think about, like why do I believe what I believe? Is it because I've always heard it growing up, or is it because I'm accepting it and I was my own? I really liked when Jason Wilkins, he asked for us all to write down what the gospel message was. And growing up in a Christian family, it seems like I know what the gospel is, but to be able to write it down and be able to actually talk to somebody about what the gospel is, it's crazy because you think you know it, but when you have to put it in words, it's really difficult. And it's always good. I want to go home and rewrite it so that if somebody ever asks me what the gospel message is, it's just something that I know now so that I can be more firm in my faith and be able to share it. You go to church, you go to youth group, but it's also important to have camps because then you get away from your everyday life and you're just with Christians, you're just with your brothers and sisters in Christ, and it's important to have a time just set apart to where all you're doing is talking about God, and you're having like at least 3 lectures a day and answers to your questions. It's a time to open up and actually be like, this is what's going on in my life. You build friendships, you build trust. It's just an amazing experience.
The question I'm going to present tonight is, can you have a brain and be a Christian? A lot of skeptics view faith as belief in something you cannot prove. But what they're doing is they're defining blind faith, and that's not the kind of faith that I walk in at this point. And so tonight I want to lead you down a chain of evidence that I think points toward Christianity as the most probable worldview. But as you examine all the worldviews, as you examine the evidence, Jesus rises to the top. He is worth placing your trust in. But if you can learn to deal with these answers, you can go out there and you can talk to anybody with boldness and confidence.
The people who you meet throughout your daily lives will most likely be totally cool with you being a Christian, except in this respect, if you hold to traditional Christian teaching about sexual morality. If you are willing to do the work to understand the teachings of Jesus on the question of sexuality, if you are doing the work to present that as charitably, as kindly, as graciously as possible, as sensibly as possible, culturally, we are in a position where you will not be spared from the charge of being a bigot. And so if there is a place right now where you need to do the hard work and gird up your loins and get prepared, good friends, this is the place.
Like apologetics, we think of it as a dry, dusty word. It's got to be boring, right? In reality, apologetics is sort of like the meat of Christianity.
I was always told, this is true, this is true, this is true. It was very little explained why it was true. It gave me a chance to not only know what I believe, but why I believe it.
Just being able to gain more knowledge about what I believe and becoming confident in it. It's just really exciting.